Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.
Imani in Los Angeles, thank you for holding. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show. Hi.
Hi. Thank you, Miss Karen, for taking my call. First time caller here. But I'm calling in to just talk about a very specific neighborhood here in Los Angeles called Altadena that I feel like is getting almost no coverage. It's a historically Black neighborhood, and unfortunately, along with some family members of mine, I know quite a few people who have lost homes there. And the unfortunate thing is that, you know, these are generational homes. I'm 30 years old, and it's been such a struggle trying to get a foot in life with just the constant just turbulence that I feel like has been going on in this country, especially in the last 5 years. I'm in a serious place of hopelessness, as much as I know that, you know, we've been through these things, and we'll get through these things, but I just don't know what's left for young people, because it just feels like everything is so impossible, from insurance, getting proper health insurance, to trying to buy a home, and then, you know, the one home that we did have in the family, that's gone now. So it's just a real hard time, and I really hope that along with the building, that there is some generational building, and I hear you guys about the vulnerability and us being open so that actions can happen and people can be met where they are. And so I hope for any other young people listening right now that's feeling in a pretty similar place, that we are able to start having these conversations with maybe some of our elders more, and figuring out how do we even navigate these times, because it just feels impossible. And I'm looking for light everywhere, and I'm reminding myself of my ancestors and my grandparents and my great grandparents and everything, and every generation has its challenges, but it just, you know, at some point we're looking for something to happen. So.
You're not crazy. You know, these are times that are not very kind to anyone, particularly this generation that will be left with all of the mistakes of the past generations. It is unfair that young people will inherit this particular earth, because I don't think that they deserve this. Imani, your name is Faith. Your name means faith. And while I feel everything that you're saying, and it does seem hopeless, let me ask you a few questions. Your family is rooted in Los Angeles. Do you have family in any other place in the United States?
I have family in D.C. and family in Los Angeles. This is my dad's here, my mom's there.
Two of the most expensive places on earth. I'm asking this because, you know, my grandparents' generation left places that were hard to find places that weren't as hard, to find community, actually. A lot of Black folk during the Great Migration came out to Los Angeles from the South, came up to Chicago from the South, came to Newark and New York and other places from the South, and they fell into community and built community in places that were really hard, but they left something that was really hard. I know this is a difficult thing to consider, but I think this is a time for us to start to think about leaving places and going to places that will be a little easier. And we hold on to things that can go away in an instant because of tradition and legacy, but you're the tradition. You're the legacy. Imani, you are the seed. You're the earth seed that will plant the next and the next and the next. So you have to be protected at all costs, but you also, I think, should be willing to go someplace, even if it's not a familiar place. Like, do some research. Yeah. Where's the best place to live in this country for Black people that won't cost an arm and a leg? Because D.C. ain't it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Los Angeles not it. New Jersey's not it. New York's not. But there are places in the middle of the country that are pockets of humanity and also where you can get a fresh start, where there's some jobs? Like what career are you in or thinking about?
I work in art, so right now I'm a teacher, but even that has been very challenging. Just keeping up with life, and it is definitely something I've considered, especially at the age I'm at. I want to start a family. There are things that I want to do in life that I know geographically is probably just not going to be able to happen here. And unfortunately, like as much as I wish that I could continue keeping family roots here, I completely agree. I think that, and this is a conversation I even had with my sister yesterday, just like we really have to kind of start talking to the family, because what are we going to do? Like that was supposed to be the generational house to create the generational wealth and et cetera, et cetera. So, I am open to building again. I'm even open to changing industries, because education has just become extremely hard to deal with, the constant, again, turbulence that unfortunately we're being put in. Luckily, in a state like California, it's not as bad, but it's impossible to keep up with bills here as a teacher. So I thank you for those words. I am going to consider that, and it's definitely becoming more of a reality than an idea. So.
I just want to add one little small piece, and that's that legacy and generational wealth building doesn't always have to be property. That's one way. But as you're thinking about like where to go, especially considering that this was like a generational home and it was, a critical part of what your family was connected to. I mean, think about what else you can look toward in terms of building, additional foundational things that will help to create wealth in your family. So like, there was a time where real estate was like but like there are other options. Like, so as you are thinking about what the conversation is going to look like with your family, and my heart goes out to you, like I'm literally like trying to hold my tears back now, because I can hear in your voice the passion and just how much you are navigating in this moment. And so I want you to just think about what other alternatives could be a part of this dialogue as well.